In this lecture, we'll discuss some properties of the state transition matrix, both for time varying and time invariant linear systems. So, the first property is the case when the state matrix A is essentially one constant given by just this A. So, we have a scalar system or one-dimensional system in hand. So the state vector x is just a real number and a is also a real number. So the system that you have is of the form x dot equal to ax, and the initial condition is x of t0 is nothing but equal to x0. Okay. So we already know how the state transition matrix looks like when you have the state matrix A of t to be in R n cross n. So basically, a n cross n real matrix for all time t. Okay, and when the system is of the form x dot equal to ax, where a is a time varying matrix. Okay, for that we had the state transition matrix from time t0 to time t to be equal to the identity matrix plus the integration of a d sigma for over the interval t0 till t, and then we had this successive integration with product happening. Okay, so we had this. Now when a of t is a constant real number in, so basically we are considering just a single dimensional or one dimensional real system. In that case, the expression that we have for n cross n can be written for 1 cross 1. So basically when n is equal to 1, we'll have 1 plus integration of a d sigma 1 t0 till t, where a is a constant, and then plus the successive integrations that we have. Okay, and if we solve this, what we get is the expression that we see here. So this expression is going to be a infinite series sum, okay, for the index k varying from 0 to infinity. And what is the expression that we have for each of the component in the series? This a power k t minus t0 to the power k divided by k factorial. So essentially this infinite series sum is nothing but the exponential of a into t minus t0. So e raised to a multiplied by t minus t0. Okay, so the state transition matrix for the system x dot equal to ax, where a is just a real number and we are considering a single dimensional or one dimensional system, then in those cases the state transition matrix for the time interval t0 till t is nothing but exponential of a t minus t0. So the state that you have x of t at any given time t, given the initial state x0 at time t equal to t0, is given by this particular factor. The next property is basically concerned with the case when a of t is a constant n cross n matrix. So we are considering a linear time invariant system. Okay, there is no input that we are considering as of now. So again, the system is of the form x dot equal to ax. The system is a n dimensional system and a is a n cross n real constant matrix. So again, if we replace in that Peano-Baker series expression for the state transition matrix, what we get is again a infinite series sum over the index k from 0 to infinity, with each component being represented as a power k multiplied by t minus t0 to the power k by k factorial. And this is essentially the matrix exponential that we have. So it is e power the matrix A multiplied by t minus t0. So again, if you see in this case, what happens is that the x of t is going to be e power a t minus t0 multiplied by x of 0, where x of 0 is the initial value of the state vector x at time t equal to 0, t equal to t0. Okay, so when we are considering linear time invariant systems, the state transition matrix is nothing but a matrix exponential along with the corresponding time difference that you have. Now The third property has to do something about commutative nature of the state transition matrix. Um, sorry, commutative property is satisfied, then it holds. Okay, and this is true for a linear time varying system. Okay, so let's say that we have a time varying matrix A of t such that it satisfies this commutation operation. What is the commutation operation? Over the time interval t and tau. So for any t and tau that you take, okay, if you take a product of at with its uh, matrix that you obtain because of the integration of the time interval tau till t, if you take this, then it is same as the product of the integration multiplied with at. Okay, so the integration of a over the time interval tau till t and a are, if they are commutating with each other, and in that case the state transition matrix for this linear time varying system can be expressed as an exponential of the integral of a over the time interval tau till t. Okay, note that this commutation is not just true for one single pair of t and tau, but it has to be in general true for any pair of t and tau that you choose. Then only in those cases state transition matrix is e power e raised to integration of a over the interval tau till t. Okay, so let's go to the next property. The next property is basically talking of or it is trying to establish the way a state transition matrix evolves with time, because state transition matrix is always a time varying matrix. Okay, it evolves as time progresses. Now the linear n cross n matrix differential equation. So we are going to talk of a matrix differential equation. Okay, consider this linear n cross n matrix differential equation where x, this capital X of t, is in n cross n for a given time interval t. So for all time interval t, x of t is going to be a n cross n real matrix. Okay, so the d by dt of this n cross n matrix, this x of t, let's say it is equal to atxt. Okay, where a is again a real n cross n matrix for all value for all times t. Okay, and let's say that at the initial time t0, x of t0 is nothing but equal to the n cross n identity matrix. So you are starting at equal to 0 with the identity matrix. In this case, this matrix differential equation will have a unique continuously differentiable solution. And what is the solution? It is the state transition matrix that corresponds to the matrix A of t. Okay, so this essentially means the state transition matrix, if you take a derivative of the state transition matrix, you will end up with the derivative being equal to a of t multiplied by the state transition matrix itself. Okay, now if the initial condition is anything other than the identity matrix, so let's say it's just n cross n matrix, which is, let's say in this case we are representing at x0, in those cases the unique solution would just be the state transition matrix multiplied with the initial matrix that you had. Okay, so instead of x of t being equal to just the state transition matrix, it will be the state transition matrix multiplied by x of 0. The next property is something to do with the negative transpose of a system. Okay, so if you have a linear matrix differential equation of the size n cross n, the matrix that we are considering is of the size n cross n. Let's say z is that z of t is the matrix, then let's say d by dt of z of t is equal to minus of a transpose of a transpose t zt. So you have this at, then z dot is nothing but minus a transpose z. Okay, that is what it is. And let's say the initial condition is again identity. Okay, so if that is the case, then again this matrix differential equation will have a unique continuously differentiable solution, and the solution z of t is nothing but equal to the state transition matrix correspond state transition matrix as shown here, which is phi of A T0 till T transpose. So what this essentially is saying is, you calculate the state transition matrix corresponding to A, take a transpose of it and compute the inverse of this. That is what this Z of T is going to be. Okay, so this is nothing but the state transition matrix corresponding to A over the time interval T0 till T. You take a inverse and then transpose of it. Okay, that is what this is going to be. The next property that we have is, if you are trying to find out the state transition matrix for the matrix minus A of T. Okay, so the state transition matrix corresponding to minus A of T over the interval tau till T is nothing but a inverse of the state transition matrix corresponding to A over the same interval. Okay, so going to the inverse of the state transition matrix corresponding to A over the same interval tau till T, which is again same as the state transition matrix corresponding to A over the interval T till tau. So the reverse interval. Okay, and this is true for every pair of T and tau that you take. The next matrix that you have, or then the next property that you have is, for every T, tau and sigma, for every T, tau and sigma triplet, the state transition matrix corresponding to AT satisfies the following product criteria. The state transition matrix phi over for A over the interval T till tau is same as the product of two state transition matrices, which is the product of state transition matrix corresponding to A over the interval sigma till T, and the product of that of state transition matrix A over the interval tau till sigma. So sigma is kind of an intermediate point that you take. It need not lie within the interval T and tau. Okay. So what essentially this means is, the state transition matrix on action on this x of tau at time tau takes you to x of sigma, okay, under the state transition matrix for the interval tau till sigma. Okay, and then from x of sigma you go to x of t due to the state transition matrix action phi a t comma sigma. This is same as going from x of tau directly to x of t without any intermediate state vector by the action of the state transition matrix phi a t comma tau. So that is what this product is. So you first go from x tau to x sigma, so that is why this phi a sigma tau comes, and then it is post multiplied by phi a t sigma. Okay, to write it, what this is trying to say is phi a t comma tau multiplied by x of acting on x of tau is same as phi a t comma sigma multiplied on x of sigma. This is same as phi a t comma sigma multiplied on phi a sigma comma tau x of tau. So if you compare both LHS and RHS, you basically get this relationship. Okay. So the next property that the state transition matrices satisfy is related to the determinant of a state transition matrix. So the determinant of a state transition matrix for any pair of T and tau that you take corresponding to the matrix A of T is just the exponential of e raised to the integral of trace of A of sigma. Okay, you have the matrix A, calculate its trace and integrate over tau till t. Whatever you get, that becomes the exponent of E. This gives you the determinant of the state transition matrix. Okay, so uh, with this we have covered all the important properties that we have for state transition matrices. In the next lecture, we'll see the properties for state transition matrices, specifically when this corresponds to a linear time invariant system. The question is, why is this called a state transition matrix? Okay, so why phi a t comma tau is named as a state transition matrix? Okay, the reason is, this matrix that you have, when it acts on a vector whose information is there at time t equal to tau, it tells you what is the state vector going to be at some time instant t. Okay, so it is basically responsible for the transition of state from tau till t. Okay, hence the name state transition matrix. We'll continue our discussion in the next lecture. We'll stop here. Thank you.